Syril's character in the Star Wars Andor series being so pathetic isn't just for the sake of comic relief, but is actually an integral piece of storytelling. Think about the ways that not just Star Wars, but media in general tends to portray the big bads. Typically, when you have a character who's an agent of an evil empire or kingdom or organization, you default to making them tough, scary, hyper-competent, and that makes sense because you want your audience to be invested in the story. And people get invested in stories where the main characters have to overcome some evil, terrifying force. And while that's totally understandable, it's a classic, I love it. An unfortunate side effect of that is that some bad people will then unironically identify with the bad characters. This is not me saying that you can't like a bad character. Vader is one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. But the things he does, the things he believes, yeah, no bueno. And that's what makes a character like Syril so interesting to me. Because unlike, with some exceptions, the typical significant member of the Empire, who is a sneering villain or a cold-hearted calculator or a ruthless war leader, Syril's character is kind of a dork. He's desperate to be taken seriously, but most people don't. He has a habit of fumbling under pressure. Besides Andor, his number one op is his mom. The thing is that while Syril is not your typical cool, badass, gets a bunch of edits bad guy, that doesn't mean that he's not still dangerous. There seems to be a lot of people who mistakenly make the assumption that being a cruel and nasty person is like a shortcut to being cool, but the reality is that's not always the case. Like, I'm sure you can think of some really horrible, nasty people you've met in your life. Were all of them cool? Doesn't mean that they're not capable of causing harm. Just remember that in real life, there are a lot of bad people who want you to look at them like they're Vader, but they're a lot more like Syril. And then back to a storytelling perspective, it's just interesting to have a character that is so easy to point and laugh at one moment, but legitimately could pose a threat the next. Let me know what you think. Andor, in my opinion, is one of the best written Star Wars projects ever. And Syril just being the dorky bad guy that you still shouldn't sleep on is a really interesting component of that.